Hi, this is Sherrita C W Delacruz, and this is the Figures of Speech Talkcast, powered by Blast Media Networks, Esoterica Entertainment, and you. Today we have Fatima Angelica Reed on. She's a mother. She's also a homeschool educator, and so much more. We'll just bring her in so she can tell you all about herself. Come on, Angelica. Excuse me, Fatima.
Hi, Sherrita. Thank you for having
Hey,
me.
I'm
I'm
so
so
glad to have you
excited.
on today.
Thank you.
Hold on a second, Troy. Could you please bring me back? Jose did something in the background that really distracted me. I'm sorry. Bring her back out, Troy. Okay. Hi, this is Sherrita C W Delacruz, and this is the Figures of Speech Talkcast, powered by Blast Media Networks, Esoterica Entertainment, and you. Today, we have the pleasure of having on Fatima Angelica Reed. She is a mother, a homeschool educator, and so much more. We're just going to bring her on in so she can tell you all about herself.
Hi, Sherrita. It's nice to be here this morning. Um,
Hey, how
so
you doing?
thank you for. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me here. So a
Of
little.
course.
I guess I'll say a little about myself. I
Okay.
was raised in Hawaii, and that's where I grew up. I went to public school there throughout all my life, and did all kinds of different work from theater to working with the Parks and Recreation, city and county, um, to helping with my parents' foster home with adults with special needs, to receptionist jobs at multiple facilities. And then I decided to move away. Everyone always asks me, why would you move from from Hawaii? But
Clear
um,
across the
the cost
clear
of living
across.
there,
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, uh, all the way across the entire U.S. and the ocean.
Yeah.
But the cost of living there is very high. Um, Sometimes it's hard to get higher paying jobs there. So I decided, let me move to North Carolina. I actually wanted to go to Wilmington and get into the film industry there. But
Mm.
I met my husband, ended up in just outside of Greensboro, North Carolina. Um, and got married, started a family right away. And then I went into nursing school um,
Mm.
just a little over 10 years ago. And I've been working in nursing since then, whether it's in rehab and long term care facilities or home health. And I've also been back and forth back home to Hawaii. And the last time we went there, it was because my dad had passed and my mom needed help with her business. So we went
Mm.
to support her until she retired. And we came back here in 2022. And that's also when I gave birth to my third son. And I decided, you know what? I just want to stay home with them for a little while and just spend more time with them. And that's what I've been doing. I actually went back part-time in nursing, but I
Hmm.
most of the time I'm home with the kids.
Got you.
And it's been
So,
great so far.
you, so your oldest child did start in public school.
Yes, actually he went through public school up until he graduated elementary school.
Hmm.
And then when he went into middle school, we had moved back here, and his experience in public school just wasn't the greatest. He got bullied a
Hmm.
lot. He was bored a lot of the times in school, and so that kind of led him to not really wanting to put the effort into schooling.
Mm.
And he really was begging me to homeschool. And then my middle son, he started kindergarten, and already in the first quarter, they were telling me, he was having trouble in school, and they were telling me what he was doing. And because I had been diagnosed with ADHD a couple of years prior to, I kind of knew the signs and symptoms of that. So I had my son tested, and sure enough, he has it too. And so that made learning more difficult for him. But the reason why I removed him from public school is they pretty much were telling me, they didn't have the resources to help my child. So to me, even if he had the diagnosis and if we decided to put him on medication, what could they do that would help him? And so because my oldest was already wanting to homeschool, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to homeschool all the children. And that actually has been a really great decision for our family. My middle son has been, yes, sir. Sorry.
I just wanted to interject real quick. So they didn't ask you, did you want an IEP for either of your kids? Or is that just something that just kind of slipped through the cracks?
We didn't really have a chance to get to that point, because in my mind already, even if he had those IEPs, I mean, they were telling me they didn't, my son really needs one-on-one, and they don't have that capability to do that for him. I mean, they have 20 to 30 other kids to teach. And so that's when I decided, it would be better for him if I just sat home with him and do one-on-one with him.
Got you.
And so far, he's been doing really great.
I appreciate you answering that real quick. And so you were saying once you decided and made the decision, you made it happen. How did you go about that? How does one, I guess, help us understand how one step by step kind of goes into the process, bridging the gap between public schooling or charter schooling and homeschooling?
So for the first year, it was a little difficult. Removing him from public school was quite easy. North Carolina laws, I just had to put in my notice of intent with the North Carolina Board of Education, and then I had to follow the rules and regulations, teaching the curriculum that I have to, and then once a year testing based on the different tests that North Carolina wants you to give your children, and also just being signed on with the North Carolina Department of Administration and Public Education under homeschools. But trying to find the curriculum that was suited for both of my kids, that was the hard part, and knowing when to start. So what I did was I Googled what are different curriculums that I can use. Then I decided to go on Facebook and see if there were groups that I could join that are homeschool based, that could give me more information from other towns, specifically here in North Carolina. And so I joined those groups, and I would read, okay, what curriculum have you been using, for this age of child, and then this age of child. And for the first year, really, it was just trial and error. We went through multiple curriculum just to find the right one for both my now high school student and my now third grader. And so both my kids have different curriculum. My oldest does online. He kind of does his own thing. I just monitor what classes he's taking, what he's doing every day. And then for my third grader, we do one-on-one, and that's what works best for him. And we found a great curriculum that we really like that we use. But even that took a while. We went through with my middle son, it was, I want to say, about 3 or 4 curriculum until we found the right one. And now that we have, he's doing really well, and it's
Got you.
working. So
Got you. How do homeschool students socialize with their peers? One would argue or try to state, oh well, you're doing one-on-one with your child. They don't really get a chance to be around other kids or anything like that. I know you have answers.
I do. That is actually probably the most common question and feedback that we get when people, find out that we're homeschooling is, well, how do they, get to play with other kids, and how do they socialize? My kids are very social, and sure, you've met them. They are not afraid to talk and interact with adults, and that's because I take them everywhere, mostly with me. I take them to the park. I take them when I have to meet up, sometimes, because I don't necessarily will have someone that can watch them during those times. And so in those moments, they're learning how to be a productive individual that's part of society, because they have to know how to act when we're at a restaurant, when we're grocery shopping, just anywhere. And so then they're able to do things on their own, because I help, like my son helps me when I go grocery shopping. Okay, we got to calculate everything. Here you go. Here's a calculator. What we put in the buggy, you need to tally up, and calculate and make sure that we're, spending appropriate amount. Or cooking. They're right there beside me. My 8-year-old knows how to cook, like ramen and eggs, and even my 2.5-year-old now, he wants to be right there in the kitchen as well. And then we have joined a co-op group. So there's multiple co-op groups out there. Some of them do educational co-op, so you're doing schoolwork together, and then some of them are just social. The one that I'm in, we meet up at least 5-6 times a month. We have a preschool day, elementary school day, teen day, family day, field trip, even mom's night out. So in those times, my kids are able to make friends. And then outside of those specific times that we're meeting up with our co-op group, we've made friends. So sometimes we'll just, call some of the friends that we're really close to. Hey, do you want to meet up at the park today? And so that gives the chance for the kids to interact and make friends that are constantly seeing, just as well as if they were in public school. And just getting out there and playing and having fun and burning out the energy.
Burning off the energy, absolutely, because being at home all day, in their studies, yet in their home environment, can probably lead to a level of comfortability where they're like, we're just chilling all day. We're not gonna go to bed on time or things like that. One woman that I spoke to, she said her kids just, she's working on trying to get her kids acclimated to a bedtime, because their thought process is, we go to school online. So if I want to do my studies at this time or this time or the other, she's trying to establish like the mornings are for class, kind of following the same chronological guideline that school follows. So have you ever had that challenge, or is that something, what would you say to a mom who's having that challenge?
I do. We do have structure in our home. Again, it's different for both of my kids. So my oldest, who's 16, he's more of a night owl. That's how he is. That's how he's always been. I know when he was going to public school, he had trouble sleeping at night sometimes. And so his schedule, he goes to sleep a little bit later, but he's expected to be up at a certain time. For him, it's 10:30 in the morning. So that's when he gets up, he eats breakfast, he does his schooling, and then after he's done with his schooling and he's done with his chores, then he can go ahead and play go hang out with his friends, play his, video games, like a big
Yeah.
thing
Virtual
for a lot of
friends.
kids his age.
Yeah.
Whereas for my 8-year-old, he's a early go-getter. I mean, I don't even wake him up, and he's already up before it's even
Mhm.
time for me to, get him up. He's usually up between 7, 8. Um, and so for him, he helps out with breakfast, um, and then once that's done, we get started in school, and he usually takes a break in between. But his schooling, because I'm there one-on-one, we get through
Mhm.
multiple lessons in such a short amount of time, and it just depends to how he's doing that day, how he's feeling. Sometimes we can get it real quick and it's done, and then
Yeah.
other times, sometimes he takes a little bit more, and it kind of drags on a little bit, but he gets it done, and then he's outdoors. He's my outdoors kid. So like the other day he went fishing with his momo.
Oh,
Um and so that it's just different, but we still have that structure, even though it might be at different times. And then there
gotcha.
are some days, what's really great with homeschooling is sometimes we just need a mental health day to
Mm.
just relax, because maybe we're going through something, emotionally, mentally, and we just need that time to just have a break. And so there are
Yeah.
days where my oldest will ask me like, "Mom, can I just take a break today? I just don't feel, um
I'm just not feeling
like doing anything."
it.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
really, he's like, "I just don't feel it today." And so okay, and he'll take a break that day, and he might have to, do additional work the next couple days, but at least he got that day to just relax.
Yeah.
And that really helps out. I feel like um emotionally, and the way then he interacts with us. Teenagers, they go through that teenager phase. But when they
Yes.
get those mental health days and those breaks, then they're so much easier to deal with and get along with, because they
Listen, and
have
I,
that reprieve.
I really commend you on caring about the balance between educating yet making sure that they are mentally capable of doing the work daily. Um, I think that is one of the things that brings families to homeschool environment, because you got 180 days that you have to account for in the public school system. At least in North Carolina, it's 180 days. And, you can't miss school or you'll get in trouble, truancy, things of that
Mhm.
nature. Um, I'm very, very proud of you as a parent to have those types of guidelines and structure in your home, because it is a discipline. I'm pretty sure it can very easily get away from you if you aren't disciplined and you're trying to maintain this homeschool environment successfully.
Yes, that is very true. Um, and I think, in the past there have been some negative connotations because of that, because possibly,
Mhm.
parents have just kind of let things slip, and so when they've tried to put kids back in public school, then they're needing to catch up. And so you have to um have those strict guidelines, but at the same time, each parent knows their kids. So when they're really going through something versus when they're just wanting to
Yes.
slack off, like you can tell. And so if I feel like,
Yeah.
okay, I know he's been stressing out about, X, Y, and Z this week, like let me just give him a break today. And then usually he'll tell me, Mom, can I just double my schoolwork this day? And that's when I know, okay, he really means it. He really needs
I know that's
that
right.
day off. So, and because we also have to provide documentation that we are doing school in certain days,
Mhm.
but we have Saturday and Sunday. So if he wants to take a break on a Tuesday and then just add on the Saturday or Sunday to do his extra work, then we can do that as well. It's flexible
Oh
in that
yes,
way,
that is so awesome.
which which has been
Um,
great because and it's been able to let us to like visit family and still get their schoolwork done. So that's been great for them.
mm-hmm. So like the baby, we just call him the baby because you call him baby anyway.
Yeah.
The baby, does he want to get into the swing of things with homeschooling as he sees your two older children sitting down with mom at the computer, at the tablet, at the desk writing?
Definitely. When he sees me doing one-on-one, oh, he wants to be involved too. So then I've been printing out um pictures with like letters and trying to get
Oh,
him to write his letters. Usually he just wants to sit there though and color everything. He's got his favorite colors. But yes, he does definitely want to sit with us. Recently I've actually gotten the a reading app for him, and been testing that out, but he's not ready yet. So each week I just try to encourage him, hey, let's try to do this. But he's not quite there yet. But he does want to do something when Big Brother is doing school as well. So sometimes he'll try to grab his paper. I'm like, oh no, that's Brother's. Like, here, let me get your own, and you can color that. And he's so happy to do it.
right. Um, is the age that you start your students at 4 or 5?
No,
Or
so actually, with the North Carolina laws, 7 years old is when you add them to your homeschool. So you don't necessarily have to teach them until then. But I know a lot of families start early on, pre-K, just with like letters, numbers, colors, and some families, depending on how their kid is doing. One of my family friends, their child, I want to say she 1.5 or 2, and she knows all her letters and can count to
one and
20.
a half?
Yeah,
1.5 or
say
2 years
2 now.
old?
2, yeah.
Oh
She's
my.
about a year younger than my baby, so, and can already count to 20 and knows all the letters. So it just depends with each child. My mom has a friend whose son was reading at a very early age. I wanted to say 3 or 4 years old, was already reading words. So it just depends on each child. Like my 8-year-old, he does really well with reading, but we are working more on spelling. He struggles with that a little bit more,
Right.
but his reading and reading comprehension is up there. So people are always surprised, like, wow, he can read that. Yeah. Yes, he can. So each child is different. Some kids, take longer than others with certain things. Some are better at math, some are better at English, spelling, grammar, and so it just depends on the kid, and you have to know as a parent, what your child can do, and what's a good way of teaching them, because again, each child learns differently, and that's why so many different families use different curriculums, because one curriculum for one child might not suit another, and there's different curriculum out there that have different viewpoints.
Yeah.
There are some that are Christian based, and then there are some that are secular. There are some that do I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember the type of like Common Core math. And so there's so many different things out there, and you just have to know what's best for your kid.
Got you. Do they have, as I guess, high school, do they have the STEM type curriculum, or curriculum based on like how I guess magnet schools would do in public schools, like computer centered computer or technology centered curriculum for high school, or arts based curriculum for high school? Do they have those types of offerings?
I haven't seen art-based. Now, for like extracurricular activities, they do have different places offer it online, or even in person. I know there's a STEM group. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but they have an in-person for elementary school and up, that they can go in for a couple hours, and that counts towards the curriculum. My oldest right now is taking yearbook, and that's through our co-op. We actually have a yearbook group, so he'll get credit for helping to produce the yearbook at the end of the year. So I'm excited for that, because that's going to be a new thing for him this year. Gotcha. And there's so many different things out there. It's just about like looking it up or asking like other parents, like, hey, what are you doing? I know a couple people in our group are in the what is it called? It's the Farmers Association. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
It's okay. In the second half of our show, we will have the information that you have provided in regard to homeschool associations and homeschooling at the bottom of our screen. We'll have that scrolling on the second half. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and go into the Blast Artist of the Week and come back with that information, and we'll talk a little bit more about homeschooling with you.
All right, sounds good.
All righty, this is good stuff, ladies. And for today, we have Sean Streeter, and this song is called 100. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Sean, man. Hey, look. I just take it one day at a time. Can't be focused on the shine. Gotta focus my mind on staying humble through my grind. Investing my time, getting closer to God in His word till I'm flying over anything that tried to separate me from God. Man, I'm getting through that. Thought you knew that. Anyone trying to crucify me, thank you, Judas. You only push me to my destiny. I'm never losing. Cruising all through the city on a sunny day. Hat low, black shades block the sun rays. Me and my ladies gon' have a good day. That's my wifey and baby girls, the angels in my face. That's why I thank God every day that I'm waking up. All these blessings I've been receiving, can I make that up? Hard times they may come, but I'm never giving up. My power come from within, I'm connected to life be going fast like the interstate. Like the interstate. Hey, with my dreams, I'm in a head-on collision. I won't swerve, I'ma keep it straight. Yeah, I'ma keep it straight. 100 if they do it, don't listen, cause God elevate my faith above any situation that I face, because life can be a struggle any given day. Just gotta believe there's a better day. Come and what? Whatever you working toward, keep working for it. A dream's only a dream when there's no work involved. Hey, put your heart and mind inside the hands of God, cause He will never let you fail when His plans evolve. Gotta remind myself daily that I got greatness on the inside of me. It's forthcoming like a prophecy, and knowing that God is a bridge over where troubled waters be raging, but He helped me get over without aborting these dreams that I got, visions that I see. Me and my brothers in EMG like a symphony, moving together on stage, and we're finna be on top of the world, giving glory up to G.O.D. I miss my brother, but yet holding on to family. I could do better as a brother and an uncle, but I'm praying that God touch my soul and change me to a better me. Praying for better life be days. Going fast like the interstate, like the interstate. And with my dreams, I'm in a head-on collision. I won't swerve, I'ma keep it straight. Yeah, I'ma keep it straight. 100 if they do it, don't listen, cause God elevate my faith above any situation that I face, because life can be a struggle any given day. Hey, just gotta believe there's a better day, because life be going fast like the interstate. Hey, like the interstate. Hey, with my dreams, I'm in the head, don't collision. I won't swerve, I'ma keep it straight. Yeah, I'ma keep it straight. 100 if they do it, don't listen, cause God elevate my faith above any situation that I face, because life can be a struggle any given day. I just gotta believe there's a better day. Hey, coming, what? Hey, seriously though, coming, man. Yeah, you just gotta believe, man, it's a better day coming, yo. Stuff ain't always gonna be matched up the way you want it to be. Yeah, but that's just the struggle of life. It's the reason we got prayer for. We can't get through it on our own. Trust God, man. Love y'all.
And that was Sean Streeter with 100. And if you are an independent artist or a spoken word poet or up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans. So if you're a fan of great music, you too can also go to blastmusic247.com, register as an unlimited fan, and have access to hundreds of independent music. Blast, we're constantly changing the industry, one artist at a time. All right, ladies, and I got to get rid of this. Back to you.
Thanks.
Ooh, that was fire. I need to add that to my Spotify.
No problem. We'll definitely shoot you the link so you can get the name of the artist and the song. I really, really love that song. They have lots of great music that you can check out. NEMG out of Durham, North Carolina. But yes, Fatima, we're so excited to have you here talking about homeschool education. And what are some frequently asked questions that you have received and can provide answers for people who are interested in homeschooling their children but don't necessarily know anyone or have a resource that can kind of give a genuine vocality about it, and who's currently experiencing it on a successful level?
Of course. Thank you. So actually that program that I was thinking of, I'm sorry, sometimes I have mommy brain. But it's the 4-h.org. It's a 4-H program. It's agricultural. And it focuses on biology, environmental science, agri-science, and veterinary science. And I know several people in our homeschool co-op are in part of that group. So again, just because you're homeschooling doesn't mean your kid isn't able to go out there and be a part of these clubs and programs. My son last year, he played soccer. So there are sports too. I know several kids that play football, basketball, baseball. So they still are able to be a part of sports and so on. And still be able to go out there and interact with other kids outside of their homeschool group. One of the really good, one of the websites is that I found is nheri.org. It's the National Home Education Research Institute. And that was started by Dr. Brian Ray. He was an educator in the public school system, actually. And then he created this program doing his research on the positivity of homeschooling. And actually on that website, if you go into their website and you can look up by state and click on your state, and it'll bring up the websites that show what is the curriculum that you have to use based on your state laws. Because we're based in North Carolina, so NHE.com, the North Carolinians for Home Education, that provides right there what you need, the curriculum that you have to provide for your children. They even have different like community groups. It even provides Facebook groups. That is the one big thing that I've found is I'm part of like multiple different Facebook groups, the Triad one in Greensboro, again, our homeschool co-op. And within those groups, a lot of parents are able to ask questions when they're having problems with, trying to find the curriculum, or even if their kid is struggling with something, they can ask, hey, this is what's going on with my child. Does anybody have any advice? And they can post it on there. Or if there's events that is part of the homeschool curriculum. Last year, we did a prom, and we included all homeschool kids, not just the ones in our co-op. So that was a lot of fun. We had an amazing DJ, Sugar Shack. And
shouts out to DJ Sugar Shack.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Sugar Shack.
Yeah.
And so that's where I found a lot of my information when I first came on. And then I was able to kind of, research for myself. The other one is it's www.doa.nc.gov. It's down here because it's long. It's got division /divisions /non _public-education /home-school, and that's a Department of Administration. And that again, that shows you the laws, the rules and regulations for what it takes to running a homeschool, and the different testing that you can choose from for your yearly testing. So those are 3 really good websites to go to, again, like the Facebook groups. And even now there are some social media people, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the major social media places where people are actually providing content on what they do step by step, how their day goes, what they do to homeschool, what curriculum they use, how they plan their day and everything. So those are really good places to check out, because again, like, not everything is the right thing for everyone, so you have to find what fits for you and your family, based on your belief system and just what you feel is right for your family. So right, those are places to just look. And sometimes one group might not be right for you, and so you have to find a different group. And that's what we did when we started off. We tried one group and it just wasn't a right fit for us, and then we found our homeschool co-op, and we've been with them for 2.5 years now. So
got you. I'm so glad that you have been able to establish your family with the co-op, so you can interact with other families who are in similar situations. A question that I had to ask: how does the high school student go about doing things that universities and colleges require from public schools for admission to universities, like a SAT or ACT testing, or any other type of prerequisite testing that is needed to produce a score to see someone's capability to go to college?
So they're able to do the SAT testing now. Trying to get your classes sent to the university, it's the same as a regular school. You have to provide them with the transcript. Now there's different templates out there online that you can go by. You just fill it out and you send it to them. I haven't seen any issues with kids, or at least I haven't heard from my point of view. I haven't heard any kids who have had any issues going into college. I've actually heard of several kids going into college early on. I've been actually trying to encourage my son, when he turns junior, so that's 11th grade, he can actually take dual, he can take college courses with the community college, and it will also count for his high school credits. So I've been trying to encourage him to do that, because it actually will save us more in the long run. And he would graduate with a degree. So
At
it's
least an
pretty.
associate degree, right?
Yes, yes. So they're able to do that without any issues. Even driver's ed, you just have to submit a request
Mm-hmm.
with the North Carolina Department of Non-Public Education, and then you print out. They'll give you a certification, and then you take that to a driver's ed program near you, and you can, they can take driver's ed as well. So I believe they still, they qualify for the same things trying to go into college as the public students. So
That's what I was going to ask, because I think when you graduate, they give some financial discount from community colleges for high school graduates. Is that something that you were aware of? Because I mean, I
No, I
don't have any
haven't.
high schoolers or school-age children in my household, but I remember my granddaughter was saying something about she could go to community college for no charge once she graduated.
So there's
Are
actually
those types?
I haven't heard that. Again, I graduated in a different state, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
how it is here in the public school systems, but I know.
Mhm.
So if he took that program next year, it's a free program. So
Gotcha.
yes. So that's the reason why I'm like, come on, son.
Come
I
on.
need you to
We
focus.
need you to go ahead and focus.
Mommy doesn't have to pay.
Got
But
you.
and that just depends too of where he wants to go, because there's now other ways to get out into the work field without a degree. There's actually a book out there that gives the pros and cons, and depending on what you want to do later in life, if you should go into college or do something else like trade school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that, everybody has different perspectives on that. So that's why research is a big thing with homeschool. You really
Mhm.
have to just look into what you want for you and your family. I know you had asked me earlier to some questions that I get. I don't really get a lot of questions about homeschooling other than like, how do you get started? Those are the
Yeah.
main questions that I see in our Facebook groups. And again, there's websites that you can look into. It's really not that difficult. To me, the hardest is like trying to find the curriculum that suits. That's the hardest part. And of course, each state is different. So some states are a lot more lenient than others on how to do homeschooling.
Mhm.
And North Carolina laws were, written because a lot of homeschool parents push to make it the way that it is today. So that's why for
Wonderful.
us, the laws are what it is. So
Got you.
which I'm
So
thankful for.
I know you are. I want to know, as well as our viewers, I believe, how is that graduation process? Once they have, do you have to complete the yearly state testing for the 12th grader, and then they've graduated? Or what is that like? What does that look like?
So actually for when you open your homeschool group, your homeschool, you have to test them within a year of opening it. So then each year, most families I know, they'll test them right around that time that they open their homeschool. We do the same. Now our co-op offers testing for everyone in May. So if we wanted to switch and retest them again, in May, and then just keep that, we could do that as well, as long as it's within that year of your opening. So say we opened ours in November 22, so then like this year before that comes around, so the next month I'll have to test the boys. And there's different tests that you can use, and you just find them online. You can order them, and then there's some that the test is online, and some that you can have delivered to your house, and it's written. So
you don't necessarily have to have a proctor per se.
no. You
Gotcha.
technically you're the proctor. There are some where you have to. It depends on the test.
Mhm.
And then really they just need, we provide the diploma, and the transcript with their grades on that. So, and then it gets sent to the college. So, and then for graduation, you can find a co-op that does graduation, and that will include your child, or you can go to the state. Again, those two websites that provide, like the NCHE, the DOA, you can look on there and find who can provide a graduation for your child. And you'll have to.
Oh, so they actually have ceremonies?
Yes.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got 2 years.
Are you excited to be graduating your first homeschooled student?
I am. Just because we've been through so much, and to just finally have a child take the next step into adulthood and go into college or the work field, I'm excited. So,
Gotcha.
I guess mostly because it says, like, okay, I did it as a mom.
Listen, and that's a great segue, because my next question was, can you give moms advice on how to stay cool? Just stay cool with balancing some homeschool moms actually work full-time or part-time like you. Navigating the household, the teaching at home. What advice would you give? We're going to take the last few minutes. What advice would you give the moms as far as like self-care maybe, or like you've already mentioned structure, so that definitely helps a lot. But just some tips and pointers for moms who are looking to be homeschool moms, or who already are and they just really need a little hand up and help out as far as some tips.
I really think taking a break and just interacting with other adults or other moms, even a lot of times, when we go to the park and all the moms are huddling, just talking about, what's going on and how they're doing. We have moms night out, where it's just moms, no kids are home, no spouses. And it's just time for us to just relax and chat. We try to get together, you and I, just to have some time for ourselves. And I know it's hard. A lot of times stay-at-home moms and homeschooling moms don't have that opportunity to just have someone to watch their kids, but it's just really important to just take that time for yourself so you don't get burnt out. I work part-time as a nurse, and then I'm homeschooling, and luckily my 16-year-old really helps with that. During the day, he'll help his my 8-year-old, his younger brother, to do his schooling if he needs help with something. And I have my in-laws live right next door, so they're over here too, helping to watch the kids on days where I either have to work or I'm sleeping, for a couple hours during the day. And I have my husband is amazing, because when he comes home, he really just tries to help as much as he can. He's like, what do you need? What do you need me to do? And so just having that support system and time for yourself, because it's hard. Some days it is really hard. Especially when, when the kids are having a hard time too, and they're just like, "Ugh, I don't want to do this. Why do I have to do this today?" Like,
Right.
because we have to, you have to learn, you have to do your schooling, get it done. And so some days you're just like, "Ugh, I'm so tired." um, but for me personally, I have to just give it up to God. I do, because without Him, I'm just like, ooh, I can't,
Right.
I cannot survive. But by His grace, like, it gives me the strength to just push through every day and just be more patient, with my kids, because some days that patience, like, whoo, out the door. I'm like, Lord, help me. Listening to music really helps. We're a big music family, so a lot of times, like, my son will be on listening to his thing on his phone, and I've got my headset on, just listening to music or praise and worship, because it's what I need to get me through
Yeah.
my day. So
Absolutely.
that is a big thing, because I'm telling you, if I didn't have that, oof, I don't know. Trying to juggle motherhood, schooling, and work at the same time.
That's right. That's
Not
right.
easy.
So, to conclude this great talk about homeschool education, can you just tell us just like in a nutshell how important it is to be able to have a hands-on capability to educate your children from home?
I just think so. One of the reasons why I love doing this is because I get to teach my kids what I want them to learn. There are so many things that are going on right now in our education system, and a lot of parents are not happy with what their kids are being taught. And I'm actually a part of several Facebook groups with children who are neurodivergent, whether they have ADHD, ADD, or on the spectrum. They're struggling. They are struggling in public school. And so for me, seeing my son, both my sons thriving because they're homeschooled and a part of a co-op group and making friends and being able to just enjoy life more, because once they're done with their school, they're outside, or playing with friends. And so just seeing them more happy and thriving, like, it makes it worth it. It really does.
Yes.
Because some days I'm like, ooh, maybe I should just put them back, and then I see what how they are, and I'm like, okay, this is worth it, because I don't want them to go through what I went through in school, which I struggled, because I was diagnosed late in life, and so I was struggling with the different ways that they taught. In some classes I did really well because the teacher taught in a way that I could understand, and then other classes I was struggling because it did not fit to the way that my brain received information. And so to be there one-on-one with them and figure out, okay, how do you learn better? What's it going to make it easier for you to understand this? Let's figure that out. Let me grab this reading app or this curriculum and put it together so that you are thriving and doing well in school and loving school, and not like, oh, I don't want to do this.
School.
I hate this. Yeah.
I think you have like the best of both worlds, because you do have a child that started in public school, and then he got to see the improvement in regard to his opportunity with education by being homeschooled from, like you said, elementary graduation to 2 years from now, he'll be graduating. And then, of course, with your middle baby, he's never had the public school experience. And you mentioned that he had been diagnosed with the ADD or ADHD. So he's never gonna have to deal with the, I guess, negative aspects that public school may provide for a student with his capabilities.
Exactly, because I mean there are days, so where he is more energetic, and he just, maybe he's just struggling that day, and so we go outside, just to let him burn off some of that energy, and then come back in, relax a little bit, and then try to do school again. And when I started doing that, I could see a difference in him. And now he, when it's time to do school, it's like, okay, all right, let me get started. And he takes initiative to try to do it himself too. And it's only when he gets stuck on something or is not understanding, and then he's like, okay, Mom, can you help me with this? I'm not, I don't get this. Or if there's things that I have to read to him or teach him, then of course, I'm right there with him, alongside him. But he's been enjoying it. And every now and then I'll ask my oldest son, like, so what do you think? Like, you still good with homeschooling, or next year do you want to go back? And he's like, no.
No.
He'd rather be in school.
Absolutely. He's got a great teacher, a great community in the co-op, great family support. Who'd want to give that up?
Exactly. Sometimes people are like, why didn't you just put them back in school? I'm like, because they're doing so good. And they're doing good,
And you're creating a very unique opportunity that a lot of people don't get to have by, like you said, teaching them what you want them to learn, also the required learning from the state that you live in. I think those are two of the best reasons why homeschooling should be seriously considered by most families. But of course, the convenience of public school is imminent. But with challenges, as you can see, here's a mom with a successful story about homeschool life and the ability to educate her children. I just can't say.
And I know I'm very blessed. I appreciate your words, but I know I'm very blessed, because not a lot of families are able to do this, whether they they lack the support or just financial capabilities. Our homeschool co-op does a lot of fundraising for like our end of the year trip, because we know that a lot of our families are just getting by so that they can homeschool their kids. Because financially, with most families, it's just one person working, or unless they have older kids that are able to have both parents working, one working from home, to be home with their kids, and it's hard. So I am really thankful and blessed that I'm able to do this.
Absolutely. And one more question: does the curriculum cost?
It does. There are some free programs out there, like Easy Peasy is one. That's the only free one that we've used in the past. But yes, it does cost. And I know some states, they're able to get the education. It's called ESA.
Yes.
I had the list on here, but I think I closed it out. But they have some states are able to get funding for homeschool. North Carolina is not one of them, unless you have to kind of go through the state to get that. But yeah, they don't provide financial help for homeschooling, so it does come out of pocket, unfortunately. That's also the reason why a lot of families they'll have like sales at the end of the school year for curriculum, so that other families might be able to purchase it at a lower amount, or use book sales, stuff like that, because it does cost.
Got you. Because I was gonna say the quality of the curriculum is good. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Yeah, the quality of the curriculum matters with the cost. Because, like you said, Easy Peasy is a no cost one that a lot of families have utilized.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more second? Because it cut in and out.
It's okay. I got you. I was saying, so basically, I guess I'll reform my question. Does it cost more to have more quality curriculum?
I don't think the quality wise, it's kind of, most of the curriculum are pretty equal cost. Find it, they really loved it, and some families thought it was a lot easier. But
right.
The amount of curriculum that they provided was really, to me, it was really good. They had a good amount of criteria for the kids, but my oldest son found that easy for him, so we had switched to something else. And then the only reason I switched it for my middle son was because I found something else that I liked that was a lot better, and that he the way that it was presented was a lot better for him.
Gotcha. So basically it's just based on what your desire is, what you're trying to teach, and where your kid is when it comes to what their interests are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so just depending on how things are taught, because I'm sure you're aware, like history, depending on who's written it, and it's gonna vary. So that's why I say research is important, because you gotta look at what are they saying, what are they teaching, what are the values of that company that's producing it. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I will ask you, whenever we're done, that you drop the links that you have scrolling here on the marquee in the comments for our viewers and listeners, so they can get this information, because it's vital, especially coming from someone who has been in this process for a while, and which websites are somewhat tried and true, proven to produce results for parents who are desiring to homeschool their kids. I'm so happy to have had you here. Thank you for all the information that you've given us today about homeschooling, and we wish you the absolute best going forward with your upcoming graduate and your two coming behind him.
Thank you
to
so
be able
much
to
for
enjoy the
having
successes
me.
for homeschool. My pleasure.
I enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And I'm glad I was able to speak on homeschooling, because I feel like more people need to know that it's an option. right? You look into it and see if it's right for your family.
That's right. This is Fatima Angelica Reed, mom, homeschool educator. I'm Sherrita C W Delacruz, and this has been the Figures of Speech Talkcast.